blazing sun to a little drizzle here after a long day in Houston, Texas. Championship Sunday has come to an end, and it was a very close chase to the top. But in the end, Carlos Ortiz became our Live Golf Houston individual champion, finishing 15 under, and an incredible run for Cleeks GC, making them the team champions. All this and a whole lot more, we're here to talk about it. Welcome to Club 54 post-round show. I'm your host, Christian Crosby, and joining me are your favorites here, Don Boulay, Suen Hang. You guys always laugh when I say that, but it's a true statement. Welcome to the show.
Well,
and wow, what a day.
It was a crazy day. Now, Dom, I know you started your day with Patrick Reed, Paul Casey, that group that in Waco, that group that we kind of thought at the start of the day were going to threaten the guys behind them. You followed them for most part of it today. What happened out there?
Well, the biggest surprise was Waco Neiman. I mean, he's bogey 2, bogey 3, double bogey 6. He was out of it. He just wasn't there, it seemed like, mentally, and he hit a couple of squirrely shots, and he lost his cool a little bit too, which I'd never seen before from Waco Neiman. But Paul Casey was right in there, and then on the 12th, he had a 3-wood in his hand. He was only a couple behind at that time. 3-wood in his hand on the drivable par 4. He decided to change to a driver, and then he flared it to the right in the water, and his chance was gone then.
Well, I know Patrick Reed, home favorite here, would be pretty disappointed to be walking away yet again without hoisting that trophy. What are some of the positives you think he can take from this week?
You know, I wish when I was playing I had the attitude that Patrick Reed has. He just grinds and grinds and grinds. Doesn't matter whether he's hitting it well, hitting it poorly. He gives it 101% every single shot. What an attitude. We know how hard he works. He's the hardest worker out here, arguably. There's a lot of guys who work hard, but I don't see anyone who works harder than Patrick Reed. It's just terrific. Yeah,
hopefully he'll get to get through that finish line very soon. I think he's long due, but someone else that was hoping to lift that trophy as well was Adrian Meronk. I know you joined me with that lead group to call his golf shots. Now, he was in total control right up to that par 5, where you got to see where his ball landed with that tee shot. Talk us through his round.
I hope I didn't jinx him. You know, I joined him and he makes a bogey. You know, I have that effect on people. But, you know, he's going to win out here, Adrian Meronk. He's won 4 times on the DP World Tour, big tournaments too. Yeah. You know, he's not a flash in the pan. And he's a hard worker. He understands the process. He's a great player. He's a tour chap, which nowadays doesn't hurt. Yeah. When we were growing up, I was apparently the model height golfer. Oh, wow. Yeah, 5'9", 5'10".
During your day.
Nowadays, you go on the range and they're all in there, you know, 6'2", 6'3". He's what, 6'6". But what a head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
So,
well, he had a great attitude, for sure.
He did, for sure. We have a ton of highlights to go through, but I figured let's start with the champ, Carlos Ortiz. What a day for him. How about you guys take us through these highlights? Let's look at it. Fans, this is Carlos Ortiz on Championship Sunday.
My goodness, what an opening statement here on hole number 3 with that birdie. That was his first birdie of the day. He was under some heat at this point because I think David came out the gates pretty hot. And then that's a birdie at 6. Now this is the start of a 3-hole birdie run for him. Now the 7th hole, Don, this is not an easy par 3.
Especially where the pin is today.
Check out this shot.
Yeah, I wasn't with you at that time. Oh my goodness, what a shot. Shot of the day on that hole for sure, under all that pressure.
And then this bunker shot on the 8th. His second shot into the par 5, hit that pin, got really lucky.
The next birdie, the one I saw, 15th. This was 609 yards into the wind. He's pin high in 2. He has picked up so much length in the last, even since his win in Oman, which I witnessed.
Yeah, I spoke to Andrew Cummings, his sports performance coach. He kind of helps the entire Torquay team, and he said he has now gained so much speed. He's now up to 180 ball speed. That's a lot of yardage when you get to this
And
standard.
he works with Waco, who's gained 30, 40 yards. I'm going to head over to Andrew Cummings and go start training because I've got some speed. I want some speed.
I'm coming with you,
Just don't pull a
Dom.
hamstring, man. Don't pull hamstrings.
And here's a big congratulations to Carlos Ortiz here from Pro Golf Critic here. Just look at that big smile. He's got to feel good about today. What does this mean for Torquay GC?
I mean, this has been a long time coming, Dom, and I mean, we've watched him so many times come so close.
Yeah.
He lost in that playoff in Tucson last year, 4-man playoff, came really close in Australia. In that post-round interview, he said he learned a lot from that.
Yeah, and he came fourth in Hong Kong, but it was only a shot out of a playoff because it was a 3-man playoff. But I really think he won in Mexico earlier in the year, then he won in Oman. Those 2 wins were very impressive. The one in Oman, he started with a double bogey on the very first hole, didn't drop another shot for the next 71. And that golf course was windy. The greens were this firm. The fairways were this firm. It was a magnificent ball striking performance.
Yeah, you know, I got to speak to someone in his camp before he teed off this morning, and they said to me that he is finally feeling extremely comfortable out here. He's not thinking about any swing thought. He's going out there, he's swinging so freely, and it certainly showed today the way he drove the ball, the way he hit his irons, and even in his putting as well.
Yeah, and I think he likes Texas. Lives in Texas, went to school in Texas. His tour win on the PGA Tour was here in Houston, which is Texas, and now his first live win, Texas.
Well, you know, he and his family tried to move to Jupiter. They didn't like it there, so they moved back.
Yeah.
And obviously, like you said, he must love it here.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about Adrian Meronk. You both mentioned him earlier. You both followed him around. So I figured let's dive into his day. He obviously is part of the Blandemic now officially, right? So what did you guys notice from his day today overall?
Oh, I mean, when I followed him early on in the round, he was just so in control of the entire day. He was so relaxed. It didn't look like he was someone that was maybe leading or co-leading a tournament. I mean, his mindset is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just, he's so even-keeled. Even when he hit that hook on 15, I think he was a little unlucky because he's just left of the bunker and it bounced into the penalty area, but no reaction whatsoever. And he and his caddy, Stuart Beck, they seem to have a really good relationship. He listens to Stuart. Stuart's a very experienced caddy. And Adrian Meronk, I don't think he's the sort of guy who would take too many chances anyway. He's a very patient golfer, but they make a great combination.
All right, guys, take us through it. Adrian Meronk, highlights from Championship Sunday. Here we go. All right.
Well, this is hole 1. He came out gun blazing, made that long range, certainly made a statement early on, and then this on hole number 6. Man, he's been putting so well this week. I mean, the strokes gain that he got on the greens is impressive, and he was one of the last people out here practicing yesterday.
What a golf swing, too. Look at that rotation through the ball. Look where his left shoulder finished on that swing. I mean, on every swing he makes. Now, I joined him on the tee shot. This is a par 4. He hit his driver to there, about 12 feet away. What a tee shot that was.
I think it was a 3-wood.
Was it a 3-wood? I was standing up by the green.
Check out that roll. It's just so perfect. He's started to work with Dave Phillips from TPI this year, so obviously it's working out very well for him.
And here's the score worm here, your favorite to win.
I mean, just look at just middle of the round today. I mean, everything was so bunched up. It was so close between Adrian Meronk and Carlos Ortiz right up to the 15th, and that was a 2-shot swing on that hole.
Yeah. It was a big hole. I mean, that tee shot into the penalty area was really the tournament right now today.
Yeah, disappointing week for David. Not what he was looking for.
No, but great. You know, he won the U.S. Open qualifier just on Monday, and to back it up with a tied for 3rd finish, he's going to head to Pinehurst with a ton of confidence, and that guy is not scared whatsoever.
Bogey-free, by the way, U.S. Open qualifier.
Yeah,
36
holes.
Bogey-free.
Wow. And he won it.
Yeah.
Love that. Here's the individual leaderboard here in Houston. Carlos Ortiz getting it done today. We just spoke about Adrian Meronk. Patrick Reed, what a day. He finished very strong. The fans were there to cheer him on, which I felt was a very special moment. Speak to this leaderboard, shall we? What do we see here?
Well, I mean, looking forward to next week. I mean, David, he's got a lot on the line. I mean, he's going to try and qualify for the Olympic team next week. I know this morning he got some news that his fellow Spaniard took over in terms of points playing the DP World Tour event. So next week is his final opportunity to get ahead in terms of Olympic points, to get on that team with Jon Rahm, one of his best friends, someone that he's very, very close to. I know how much it means to him. So a lot on the line next week. Brooks Koepka as well, heading into Pinehurst.
Yeah, for David, you know, that's more pressure that he really didn't need. He's going to play in a major championship. It's not his first major championship. He played the US Open last year. He played the PGA just a couple of weeks ago. He's also in the Open Championship. But with that in the back of his mind, there's a lot more pressure. But, hey, he can deal with it. He's 22 years old. He's a stud.
Well, we'll chat more in a little bit, but first, let's check out some social from Stinger GC. What did they have to say today? Oh, who's that? Suan, okay, I see you. No matter the result, never stop smiling. What's happening here, Suan?
Well, that was actually when Louis had to pull out because of back injury, and he was there supporting his team. Really cool.
That's amazing. Keep on smiling, Suan. How about that? Dean Burmester has been playing some of the best golf of his career this year. He won on the DP World Tour and claimed the top spot on the podium at LIV Golf Miami. Dean joined Suan for this week's Hang Time.
The challenges that you face outside the golf course, you seem to thrive in those type of conditions. What is it about that?
When something's tough, just make sure you do what you can do and control what you can control. And the rest is pretty much history. It'll take care of itself.
Speaking of tough, what is tough out here is winning, especially as a team. Stinger GC, you guys are due for a win. We're halfway through the season. What has that been like? Have you guys talked about it? Do you guys feel the additional pressure?
Yeah, I think so. Look, obviously, we've had two really close calls in Saudi Arabia and Australia. But yeah, the 4 rounds on Sundays definitely made a difference for us. We kind of worked out that it was 3 rounds. We probably would have won twice already. But yeah, we want to win one. We obviously want to win a lot more than one. And we'd like to win the whole season, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. Everyone's working pretty hard, or as hard as they possibly can. You know, some farm, some play golf. But, you know, we work as hard as we can.
I think I kind of know who farms.
Suan, how was it working behind the scenes with Dean Burmester there for Hang Time?
Oh my gosh, it's always such a good time hanging out with Dean. He never fails to entertain, that's for sure.
Who do you have coming up next for?
Guess you'll find out.
You gotta give us.
You
gotta give us something. Come on, Suan. It's Club 54 post-round show.
No idea.
It's a cliffhanger.
I see what you did there. Well, you can hear we have another voice joining us here. Here we go. All right, and that voice was the one and only Jerry Foltz, who had to join us.
One is plenty, most people would think.
Man of the dad jokes.
I like that. I like that. Man of the dad jokes. Welcome to the show, Jerry. Just overall, how are you feeling as we complete?
Well, Suan is the lucky charm. Our last guest on the greatest golf podcast there possibly could be, especially if you're a LIV fan, Fairway to Heaven, was Carlos Ortiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to feel proud.
And Puig.
Yeah, Puig was the one before that, exactly. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into the team talk a little bit. Jerry, I want to hear from you. Let's pull up the leaderboard of the team. Cleeks GC getting the job done today. The Blandemic, the Blandemonium, all of the things, Jerry. You've been talking about it for quite some time.
Blandapodium today. Blandapodium.
There's a new one.
Jerry, to add on to that, guess who was that before Puig that was on our podcast?
Who's that?
Blandemonium.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
3 in a row.
I'm seeing a constant
Three in a row. It's a Blandemic.
I think we're on to something here.
Blandtastic. Yeah, no, I mean, you didn't get to see the fluctuations in the team leaderboard all day. You're out there, you know, you got a scoring thingy with it, but you're out there doing your thing. It was crazy how many teams had a chance to win. The Ripper GC went from 9 back to leading by 2 to near the cellar again late in the day. It was so volatile, counting 4 scores. And then you had Crushers. They were being led. They were being led. The best score of the day for most of the day on their team was reserve player John Catlin, who played really well. He had it to 3 or 4 under early in the round. It was pretty nuts. But you know, the Cleeks have been cellar dwellers for basically 2.5 seasons, and they come out victorious today. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, just watching all of their players shooting under par today.
Yeah.
That is impressive. And Kale delivering at the end, as I heard, that was really awesome.
Yeah, it was. You know, and we've had three players make their way to Live Golf League through the promotions event. 2 of those have experienced the sweet taste of champagne on the podium as team members of Legion 13 for Kieran Vincent and now Kale Samuya for help me?
Cleeks.
Cleeks. God.
Well,
Long day.
shall
Long
we
day.
get into some Cleeks highlights?
Sure.
All right, let's take a look at Cleeks' big day today. Take us through it, guys. Jerry, here are the highlights. I would love to hear you talk through some of these great moments from today.
Adrian Meronk had the best control of the speed on the greens all week of anybody, with the possible exception all day today on Sunday of Carlos Ortiz. But Bland he's a mailman. He just delivers.
Yeah, he put this putter in the week of the U.S. Senior PGA. It's been working really well for him. As we spoke before, Adrian Meronk, oh my goodness, the strokes gain with that club this week, it's honestly impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Martin Kaymer. You know, I'm allowing myself the fairy tale of thinking Martin Kaymer going in next week and contending where he won his last ever individual event 10 years ago at the U.S. Open. He's got the form back about as good as I've seen, well, as good as I've seen him since he joined Liv.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very old school Martin Kaymer, like the way he's striking the ball. I spoke to someone on his camp earlier this week. He said he's swinging it so freely, it's like a ballerina. It's just, you just watch him dance.
It's like a ballerina.
I know.
That's a pretty golf swing, but I didn't think of that analogy. I like it, though.
Richard Bland said they were the dark horses
Oh, they have
today.
been.
Is it even safe to say that at this point?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were winless.
Yeah,
for a
well,
long
they
time.
had one podium in their existence. One podium in their existence. Yeah, no, that they were very much a dark horse. You add the best player from the European Tour last year in Adrian Meronk. That's going to help you a lot. Kale Samuya, who knew these guys beforehand, it's an all-European team, knew them beforehand, but now he's in the inner circles with these great players. That really, really helps. And then, you know, who could have counted when Richard Bland joined Live Golf at 50 years old,
50,
49 years
yeah.
old? Who could have ever predicted the kind of golf he would produce against this level of competition, the same level of competition that he credits Suhan for bringing him along as far as he has been?
I have, you know, one thought on the Cleeks, and I've been very lucky to be around them. What I've noticed every morning, we eat in the same breakfast area at the hotel. The Cleeks are there together every single morning, same time, at the same table, having like a team meeting or a team bonding over breakfast. And they are a tight-knit group of guys, you know, not quite maybe the same as like your Torquay or your Ripper, but Adrian Meronk specifically said on our podcast that being on that team means so much to him. It was so lonely on the DP World Tour, and I think it's helping him. I think it's helping him play better.
We got two of the Cleeks going to the U.S. Open next week at Pinehurst. The other two, Bland and Samuya, are going on holiday together.
That's incredible.
Yeah, with families, of course, you know. Yeah.
Romance.
Yeah. I think that's really cool. I mean, that wouldn't have happened 6 months ago. That would not have happened.
Well, I think the stars are aligning, though, for Martin Kaymer for next week. I'm just going to put that out there.
It's a fairy tale ending, but I'm going to allow myself to dream it at least for a few days.
I love it. All right, well, big congratulations to Cleeks GC. And now, let's toss it over to our great friend that's on the greens literally right behind us,
we heckle?
Rachel Drummond.
Can we heckle?
Rachel,
Stick.
what's up over there?
You're so close, I could actually give you a high five, guys. Turn around. First up, what a champion, Carlos Ortiz. It was honestly like match play out there. Him and Adrian Meronk straight down to the wire. Now, we're going to talk about the Cleeks, their first ever win. And that was done with a lot of team effort today. So we're going to look at some of those shots today, and then we're going to get on to the putting tip. So let's roll these shots that got them over the line today. Here we go. We have rolling in this putt. Beautiful, straight in the middle, end over end for Meronk. Mr. Kaymer, like Jerry said, he's playing some of his finest golf since he's been here on Liv. And shots like this, I think he could be back getting a W quite soon. Tapping that one in, which is always nice. And here he is, Blandy, the man that literally can't do anything wrong at the moment. And I've got a putting tip from Mr. Bland that I'm going to give you now. Now, putting isn't just important to keep momentum going, but it's important for getting those extra shots in the hole and making those birdies and lifting the trophy. So I've set up my own little station, which I want you to try at home. So first up, if we zoom in, we've got the live line, my string line, and then we've also got a chalk line on the ground. Now, this is important for your basics. We always talk about fundamentals. So number one, getting the club face pointing at where you want the ball to start. And we've got a putt at 3 feet, 4 feet, and 5 feet. As we saw from the B-roll, these were important putts that these guys are making. We're going to head over now to have a little look at some of the B-roll from the guys today on the cleeks, making these lengths, and then I'm going to hole some out for you. So let's have a little look. Here we go. Man of the moment. Mr. Kaymer rolling in, 6-footer. Here he is, Meronk, same again. Making birdie, beautiful. Perfect, so here we go. So you're gonna set up your putter head on the string line. You're gonna get the ball in the middle of your feet. Now, tip number one, you need to stay very still. I got this from a coach at home. It's a very good tip to look at your knees. If your knees are moving around, it's more than likely you're moving around. So you're gonna get the club face on the string line. Pay attention to keeping those still knees back and through. 3 feet, 4 feet. It's a lot easier with a string line. And 5 feet. Now this is a great drill to try at home. You can then go as a clock round the hole. So again, we've got 3 feet from this angle, 4 feet, 5 feet, and same again here, 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet. You can set yourself a little challenge and give this one a go at home. We're going to try one more time. 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet. Again, keeping the knees still, head still, back and through. Give these drills a go at home. You could be lifting the podium like the cleeks. And remember, it's not just for momentum, it's getting a score going and getting the trophy.
Great job, Rachel. I was glued to that segment the entire time. I think I picked up a whole lot of tips there, Sue-Ann.
You know where my knees won't be moving over the string line, but I'll be moving in Nashville.
Well, we have a poll for you guys. How many fist pumps will Bryson DeChambeau do at the U.S. Open? Make sure you guys scan that QR code for your votes. Fairway to Heaven is a weekly live podcast, the best one ever, hosted by Jerry Foltz and Sue-Ann Hang, that delivers insights and interviews like no other golf pod.
Welcome to Fairway to Heaven, a live golf podcast with myself, Sue-Ann Hang, and my partner in crime, Jerry Foltz.
Fairway to Heaven, I love it.
That is a good question, actually.
Don't sound so surprised.
Every golfer has that inner demon. What's yours?
My driver.
You're kind of like this growing folk hero.
It's great when you hear people shout out to you that you're kind of doing it for the old guys.
And he's geriatric, so you never know if he remembers anything.
He was starting to get older then. He's 50 at that point. No offense. That might hurt. That may hurt you. I'm sorry.
I might as well, put on the Depends right now.
That's a great segue for Jerry's favorite segment. It's called Fairway to Love.
This part sucks. This part's awful.
By the way, do you like my t-shirt?
I love it.
Oh,
She's great.
She's such a suck up.
When does this podcast start? When are we starting?
That was fun. I had a blast. Thanks.
If you guys want to check out Fairway to Heaven, be sure to scan that QR code and check it out for yourself. I mean, as you can see, it's full of amazing moments. And you guys are creators of champions, apparently.
You're overselling us here.
Absolutely not. It's incredible. I love how real you guys are together. It's a pleasure to watch.
Everybody thinks that we're real funny together, and it's not intentional. I don't know what that means.
That makes it even better, Jerry. Make sure you guys check out Fairway to Heaven. It's an absolute blast. It's a wonder.
Yeah, you can listen to Sue-Ann give me nothing but grief for an hour every week.
Oh, that's a great face Sue-Ann just made. All right, I believe we have about 12 live players that are headed to the U.S. Open. I think 5 of them are former winners. How do you think these guys are going to do this week? What are your thoughts on this weekend coming up? Jerry?
You know, Adrian played the best of any of the guys heading to the U.S. Open, but he's missed both cuts in the majors this year. He puts a lot of pressure on himself because he still feels like he needs to validate his move to LIV. I don't think he needs to at all. I know the people in his camp don't feel that way, certainly on his team or within LIV. You look at the guys who you would hope were trending in the right direction. Bryson didn't play well this week after a great PGA. Brooks didn't play well this week until today. He played really well. DJ didn't play overall that well either until today. Well, he actually hit the ball quite well for the week and didn't get anything to go. So you want the guys peaking at the right time. It doesn't set up well in that regard, but when I talk to our resident expert, Mike Perkey, who does all of our stuff, and he really delves inside everything he can possibly find, he says, load up on Brooks and DJ.
You always want to load up on Brooks and DJ, but again, I'm going to go back to Keimer because, again, I still think the stars are aligning for the guy. But also, how about Puig? I mean, qualifying bogey-free. He didn't play as well as he wanted to today, but still 3 under par. That's a solid week for him. Qualified and won his qualifier. I know he's put some new irons in, so I don't know. Maybe he'll learn a little something from today and bring that into next week.
He also needs to have a good week to climb up the world rankings to get in the Olympics because he just got passed for the second spot from Spain today by one of his fellow countrymen playing over in Sweden. So that'll be a big thing for him. And then there's always the question mark right now. We don't have a lot of answers about Jon Rahm and how his foot's doing and how he's going to be in terms of form going into next week. That's a huge question mark for the championship, for LIV, for everybody, but for nobody more so than Jon Rahm.
As things come to an end here in Houston, next stop is Nashville, which I'm so excited.
It's so much fun.
Jerry, what are you, and Sue Ann, both of you, what are you guys looking forward to in Nashville?
Well, first of all, I'm looking forward to Tuesday shenanigans and Jerry in some really awful denim.
Yeah, they're getting shipped to your house, by the way. We're all wearing jean shorts and really ugly shirts. We're going to look like the worst tourists we can. We're going on a pub crawl on Tuesday. I asked some guys for suggestions. I've never been in Nashville downtown. They said, have somebody drop you off on one end of Broadway. If you make it to the other end, you win. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the golf is going to be great, by the way. Just so we're talking about golf, right? But the golf is going to be fantastic, and so is the music.
Yeah, I know. I'm so
Dan and Shay on Saturday. I'll be there with Jerry.
Ticket sales are through the roof. It's going to be nuts.
I love Dan and Shay.
Nashville fans, you guys hopefully will be tuning in as well. Let's check out some social here as we approach Nashville. Here's a Blandemonium post. Jerry is live and well and currently rocking Houston, Texas. Congratulations, Dickie B and all the Cleats guys. Just let's talk about the fans here and the atmosphere as we close out. As we can see, so many people tweeting about the fun this week. Have you guys had any unique experiences with the fans, and how do you feel like these fans are developing as this league continues to grow?
Well, it is growing, certainly. I think today the crowd was fantastic all through this week. They've had a lot of fun. The weather's been hot, but they've been braving the heat and coming out to watch some of their favorite golfers and really getting in real access to them, players. It's not super packed, and so they're able to then get a bit up close and personal with their favorite golfers.
On a property is spread out.
It's huge.
There's no bad seat in the house, but I think Steve Elkington in the pre-round show said it best. He said, they don't come if it's not a great product. It's a great product with great players. He brought an 83-year-old guy out who had the time of his life. And that tells you one thing. The younger crowd is attracted to it because they're top golf type mentality. They have a different kind of spirit for life than maybe the old guard of golf fans do. They absolutely love it, and it's really cool to see the diversity from families, from children, all the way up to senior citizens who are enjoying the golf, enjoying the vibe, enjoying what it brings. And the fans here in Texas did not disappoint.
I will add to that I observed a lot more younger people out here this week, kids fist pumping P. Reed, and it was really awesome to watch and watch how this can help grow the game of golf.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Next stop, Nashville. Thank you guys so much for watching Club 54 post-round show. I'm your host, Christian Crosby, Sue Ann Hang, Jerry Foltz, and
do that thing you do, that peace
we
out
don't
thing.
have a problem, Houston. This was great.
No!
Are we doing the piece together?
No, you do it.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. Peace. See you in Nashville.